One last gasp for Edmonton. Bouchard's pass didn't click with Draisaitl. 12 seconds to go. Florida trying to end it up against the wall, which would be fitting. 3 seconds to go. The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup. For the first time in their 30-year history, the Florida Panthers are Stanley Cup champions. They made it about as hard on themselves as they possibly could, battling a valiant Edmonton team that had rallied from adversity all season long. And Paul Maurice, coaching lifer, 30 years in the National Hockey League, has his Stanley Cup.
What the puck is going on?
Here's your host of What the Puck is Going On, Dave Metzger.
All right, welcome back in Tuesday evening. We are at it again. Got us a nice little 8-game slate, I believe. Some teams on the back-to-back. Maybe some surprising wins here. I got a couple picks that I like this evening, so we'll go over that. Steve, how are you on this Tuesday?
Good afternoon, David. Tuesday, cold outside, a lot of snow encroaching on the East Coast here. So it gives every bit the feel of hockey season right now, and which, kind of are the dog days a little bit. And we have the Olympics coming up too as well. So that's right ahead of us. A lot to be excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited to see some of that Olympics. Maybe next week we'll touch on that a little bit with the roster selections and all that.
Right.
So let's go ahead and jump right into the standings here. We'll revisit this in the updated standings here. We'll start in the Atlantic out in the East. Tampa Bay on top there with 64 points. Detroit in second with 64. And Montreal holding steady there in 61. Or in third with 61 points. Boston not too far behind with 58. Buffalo with 57. Toronto 56. Florida sliding back down, second to last place here with 53 points. And Ottawa, all teams over 500. Ottawa 22-19-7 with 51 points. So that tells you that the Atlantic is pretty good right now this time of year. So, Steve, Tampa's back on top. What do you like, or what do you think in the Atlantic?
Well, from top to bottom, this looks like that it's the most offensively potent division just by the numbers if you look at them. That's one. Now, where we had like a long season of unders and stuff, we've seen some overs lately and a lot more crooked numbers like 8-4, 7-5. We've seen some of those scores. And that has to do with a lot of these teams here. Toronto and Minnesota put up a ton of goals the other night, for example. So that's one thing. The Panthers at -14, you wonder how, at the -14 for their goal differential, that is. You wonder if they're just going to turn the corner now with Matthew Tkachuk coming back, right? So they will look to improve a little bit during the stretch here before the Olympics. And then I expect them probably to come out as strong as ever, trying to fire at least on all cylinders before they get into the playoffs. So that's one team I'd be aware of still. At the end of the day, 11 points isn't super crazy. I mean, we still have 34 games to play to be played, 33, 32, depending really who you are. What's getting me, Dave, is Tampa Bay. I see them right here at 9-0-1 in their last 10, and I'm trying to decide how only me can lose on them twice during a stretch in which they've only lost one game. But that has to do with their team goals. I remember the overtime loss that I took when I had them to win in regulation, and then also on a team goal night, Pittsburgh stymied them for the most part. So Tampa Bay has been a success for everyone, still yet for me. Detroit continues to impress. They really have been a team that's Dylan Larkin and company just kind of, again, firing on all cylinders. Hate to use that terminology again. And how about the Bruins with a big test tonight? We'll talk about them. They've now won 6 in a row. Nice road trip for the Bruins here.
Yeah, absolutely. Detroit definitely holding steady there. Looks like a team that we'll be looking at in the playoffs. They're ready for playoff hockey to return in Detroit, that's for sure. Boston, a great test tonight. We'll get to that game. That should definitely be a good one there. Let's jump into the Metro. Carolina with 66 points. That's going to be your clear-cut favorite in that division for sure. The Islanders in second with 59. Pittsburgh in third with 57. You have Philly and Washington, both with 54 points, right outside of the playoff picture at the moment. Jersey with 52. Columbus with 51. And then you have the Rangers with 48 down at the bottom. They look to be sellers at the trade deadline. They got some pieces that can maybe afford them to retool rather quickly and not tear it all down. So I would definitely be expecting them to be moving some guys here soon. But Steve, it's kind of more of the same since the last we looked at it here. Carolina in their spot on top. And then it's just kind of a dogfight for the rest of these teams.
You brought up Carolina. I told you just kind of out in the studio. I mean, this isn't news to anybody. I'm not being anything but Captain Obvious, I guess. But if you pay attention to these games and you watch Carolina, they just smother you at the net, offensively and defensively, per se. And with that puck's rattling around down there, they seem to be able to get it into the back of the net. I feel exactly like you do, Dave. I think you almost get the feeling that they're slowly crawling away from the rest of these teams. They do have the best streak in the division right now, 3 in a row. The Islanders, again, they've been so nice too. Trailing right behind them. Got to give the Penguins credit. The Flyers got me, Dave, yesterday. I had a 5-game parlay with the all money lines on the favorites at home. One of which was the college football, but Vegas was my only blemish on that mark. I had Colorado against our Caps, so I bet against our Caps. That minus 1.5 in that game was the lock of the century. I had Carolina just on a straight money line, which made me feel good since they were, Buffalo, a stubborn team still. Maybe we do. Where we have mediocreness in the NFL of kind of more bad teams than good teams, the mediocreness in hockey, you almost feel like it's more good teams than bad teams, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
It feels like that there's a lot of good teams here in the NHL. So the Flyers get me beating Vegas shorthanded. They get the go-ahead goal there to win 2-1. Anaheim with a fun game late night as well. But the Devils have righted the ship a little bit, and you got to give the Blue Jackets a little bit of credit. The coaches come in, and I think they're 4-0 under the new coach right now.
Yeah, so look out for them. I got them playing a little bit of a high-scoring game tonight. We'll get to that one here shortly. So your playoff picture as it stands here, since we are about 48 to 50 games in for most of these teams. Your Eastern playoff teams at the moment are Tampa Bay, Detroit, Montreal, Carolina, the Islanders, Pittsburgh, with Boston and Buffalo holding the 2 wild card spots. So let's jump into the West. In the Central, Colorado, no surprise here. Get used to hearing that. I don't think that's going to relinquish at any point this season. 60 or 76 points for them in first place. Minnesota with 65. Dallas now with 63 in the third spot. So they've been leapfrogged here by Minnesota. Utah has 54. Nashville with 50. Chicago with 47. St. Louis with 46. Winnipeg with 44. So as it's been the last couple of years where this has been so tight and so fun to watch in the Central, you can almost kind of see what's going to happen here. Colorado, Minnesota, Dallas, just miles ahead of anybody else right now. So, Steve, in the Central, it's just kind of the same, is it not?
It's a hard division to deal with. I'm sitting here thinking about where I've had troubles, and it's all these teams for the most part, besides Colorado. I mean, even Minnesota, we've been on them when they're hot, but they can turn on you at any given instant. You take them against Winnipeg last week. You feel like, all right, Minnesota should kill Winnipeg in this. Here's a chance for Minnesota to kill Winnipeg after the last couple of seasons of disappointment the Jets have put on the Wild. And Winnipeg wins that game 7-2 or something like that. Dallas inconsistent. Utah continues to be a nice story. You wonder if that's the team that's going to kind of grind into the top 3, or maybe they still trail Dallas by 9 points to get into that third spot. Minnesota by 11 points. So that's a lot to overcome, but possible still at the same time. Nashville's made a little bit of a jump here in this division. They've gotten at least to 50 points here and above 500 in regulation. So 6-4 in their last 10 has done them well. And it's just a hard, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't betting on these teams in this division for the most part. So maybe the lesson learned here is, teams like Dallas for now. You got to feel like Dallas is going to get right. And I know someone who loves them tonight against Boston. And it makes sense that they would come back and, maybe have a real good game against Boston and get a win. But will they? I mean, the Bruins are a freight train right now. So
right.
I don't want to jump in front of that per se. And I don't know. Trying to go to war with teams like the Blues and the Blackhawks and the Predators, just tough. So hard division. Colorado, yes, Dave. Walking away from the rest.
Yep. All right. In the Pacific, Vegas in the first spot here with 60 points. Edmonton right behind them with 58. San Jose back in third place, 53 points. Or I should say they've taken into third place, not back into third place. But they've jumped Anaheim. Anaheim has 53 points as well. Seattle with 51. LA with 51. 47 for Calgary. And 37 for Vancouver. So the lowly Vancouver Canucks having themselves a tough season. So a little bit more jammed up here. Interesting stuff. San Jose and Anaheim battling out for third right now. Very interesting there. Seattle not out of it. LA needs to get going. They're not out of it either. Some losing streaks between Seattle and LA, both 4 in a row losing streaks here. So, Steve, the Pacific, a little bit tighter, but I think a couple of them teams really need to get off of those losing streaks to have a chance here.
Well, I'll say this, Dave. I mean, watching Vegas yesterday, they just don't super impress me. And it's not like I've watched them a lot either. But if that's their hockey that they produce at times, when they're playing some of these more grinded out teams, like they did yesterday with Philadelphia, a team that's going to grind you out, then yeah, you're going to perhaps face some trouble. Now, none of these teams are grinded out necessarily. Talking about Seattle is. Seattle somewhat is, for sure. But not talking about Anaheim or San Jose. These teams are all within reach of this division lead, Dave. And again, do we ever trust Edmonton? Isn't Edmonton just the kind of the team that, as long as they make the postseason, they just don't care, maybe, right? I'm wondering right now, with these divisional odds, you can take all three right now and just hope one of them gets there. I'd see Anaheim 27-1 to win this division. I see the Sharks at 40-1, and I see the Kraken at 125-1. That's not worth $10 for each one.
Maybe, that's interesting.
Maybe to have some fun down the stretch. And I'm sure your odds are different and maybe even a little bit better. Maybe mix and match sports books so you get the best odds all around on doing something like that. But when I watch a team like, again, everyone's saying it's a bad chance for San Jose tonight at Tampa Bay because they're coming off the back-to-back. Is it? San Jose has been playing really, really good. The Ducks, they seem to have righted the ship since their losing streak. I mean, both of these teams are dynamic. And the Sharks, they play that nice pressing defense as well. So if the other team's getting stymied by it, they can really make them look like fools and steal the puck left and right. I would look at one of these middle-tier teams to make a charge here in this division.
Interesting. Yes, interesting. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. Steve, your Western Conference playoff teams at this moment are going to be Colorado, Minnesota, Dallas, Vegas, Edmonton, San Jose, and how about this? There you go, Steve. Utah and Anaheim hold the 2 Western wildcard spots at the moment. How about that?
Oh, nice. Yep.
All right, so there are your updated standings. Let's go ahead and jump into this slate, see what we can't find ourselves tonight. Tampa Bay, first game up with your San Jose Sharks. And I'll tell you what, this book has had some little bit of troubles today. It keeps logging me out, so let me log back in.
Well, my first thoughts on the slate is that that's a hard one, to be honest.
It is a tough one, yeah.
I feel like a lot of these are common matchups, playoff type of matchups as well. Or, if you're to have 2 bad teams kind of almost in a elimination type of scenario, may the fittest team kind of win here maybe. There's one game I think I like more than any of the other ones. And you talked about it before. We'll get into it. It's at the end of the slate. But, yeah, San Jose. I mean, is Tampa Bay really a minus 300 favorite here?
Yeah, they are. The over-under, Steve, 6.5, minus 110 both ways. Minus 300 for Tampa at home, plus 240 for the Sharks on the road. Goalies tonight. Vasilevsky is in goal for Tampa, and Askarov, their starter, is in goal. So they saved him for tonight. Smart move from the Sharks. Decent matchup there. Obviously, Vasilevsky probably the little bit better of the class between the two. Maybe not even a little bit. Definitely the better class there. Steve, I'll tell you what, with this game, I went against the grain there with you. I'm just going to trust Tampa Bay on the 60-minute line. I believe it was minus 175. But I went ahead and put it in a little parlay. So give me Tampa on the 60, Steve.
All right. I was tempted in Tampa. That's my first thought this morning. And I've heard the love for Tampa. I'm just afraid. I don't know. I'm tempted on the Sharks over 2.5 plus 106. So give me that play. They might not win the game, but I think maybe they still show up with a decent effort here as they try to remain hot on the road. So I'll take the Sharks over 2.5 goals plus 106.
All right. I like it. Next game up. Now here's I might surprise you here with this one, but I did it, and it's the risky of the plays on the parlay ticket. If this one gets home, then the chances are pretty decent with everything else. We have the Wild here in Montreal to take on the Canadiens. Wild are on the back-to-back, 6.5 is your number here, plus 100 for the over, minus 120 for the under. The Canadians going to be minus 135 at home, while the Wild are plus 114 on the road. Goalies are, I just have Debash, I believe is how you say that for the Canadians. Do you have a Minnesota goalie?
Let's see here. I have. Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, all right. Well, Steve, I'll tell you what, you said it with the Wild earlier. They could just really kind of turn on you sometimes.
Montreal's good, Dave. I mean, this is another good hockey team.
Yeah. This is an interesting matchup, maybe a good spot. Montreal getting them on the back-to-back. Minus 1.5 on the puck line at plus 180 is my official play for this.
I'm going to look at what do you have for Montreal for 2.5 goals, Dave?
Let's take a look here. 2.5. I have minus 225.
Minus 225. Man,
I went with the risky play, man.
Right. This is a good game. It seems like there's always goals in Montreal. Minus 225. If I'm going to just do it on a night like tonight where I'm a little weary, I'm willing to think to lay a little extra juice to make things easier on me. So if I'm going to take 2.5 with San Jose, I'll take 2.5 with Montreal.
All right.
Now my book's acting weird. I can't find it I got over 1.5 and 3.5, and I can't find the 2.5, which makes it maybe unplayable for me.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Next game up, Ottawa is in Columbus to take on the Jackets. Your over-under here is 6.5, minus 130 for the over, plus 110 for the under. Blue Jackets are going to be minus 105 on the money line, while the Senators are minus 115. Your goalies tonight is going to be Merzlikins in goal for the Jackets and James Reimer in goal for the Sens. Steve, I kept this one simple. I think these two can get going. Give me over 6.5 at minus 130.
I'll take the Blue Jackets at home, Dave. They're hot. I don't trust the goaltending for Ottawa mostly. So I will take the Blue Jackets. Let me see what kind of number I can find for these guys. If I can even find, again, what I'm looking for. I don't know why these goals and alternate goals have been so difficult on this one sports book. I almost feel like I need to say something to my VIP rep as they offer the alternative goals. And all right, here's the team goals here. I got 3.5 for Columbus team goals. I'd like to get 2.5, but when I go ahead and look at them for the game, and if anything, if you guys are experiencing something like this out there, let us know. But for the alternative Blue Jacket goals, I have over 0.5, over 1.5, and again, over 3.5. There's no over 2.5. So I feel like they're kind of taking some options away from us here. I would say this. If I had to dumb down the line for Minnesota and Montreal to over 5.5, I think I'm good with that. At let's see, that's minus 168. A little bit more juice, but over 5.5 sounds just really appealing there. I'm liable to do the same thing here because you like the over. You can sell me at some goals for Ottawa, but over 5.5 is minus 215. I mean, this isn't the greatest paying out ticket in the world, but I feel like I'm getting it cheap anyway. So give me over 5.5 goals, Ottawa, Columbus.
All right, I can dig that. Yeah, I think we see some goals here, Steve. So I think you're got a pretty good angle there. Boston is in Dallas to take on the Stars. Man, what a good game here. Boston, just super, super hot right now. Dallas, they are struggling a bit, so maybe a good spot for Boston. 5.5 is your number here, minus 135 for the over, plus 114 for the under. We've got the Stars are minus 135 on the money line, while the Bruins are plus 114 on the road. What do we get for goalies tonight? Swayman and Ottinger. What a matchup there. I love that. Maybe this leads to an old-time playoff type of game here. Two good teams going at it. I think we're going to see a little bit less goals in this game, just going off that goaltending matchup. I did play a Stars minus, not minus 2.5, but 2.5 team goals this evening, trying to get right at home. But with that being said, that's 3 for the Stars, maybe 2 for the Bruins. This game finds its way under, but I could see under 5.5 here tonight, Steve.
Yeah, you know what, Dave? That makes sense to me. I think this is going to be a no play for me. Boston's been hot. Dallas do. I just hate to be on the wrong side of whatever I pick here. So I'll avoid this. But like you said, a very, very good game.
All right. Buffalo is in Nashville to take on the Preds. Buffalo is going to be on the back-to-back tonight, so keep that in mind. Over-under tonight is 6.5, plus 102 for the over. The under is minus 122. We got Nashville at minus 125 at home, plus 105 for the Sabres. Your goaltending matchup here tonight. I just have Saros in goal for the Preds, so to be determined right now for the Bruins. Steve, I just went really kind of simple here. I took Buffalo as my shot kind of on this ticket, this team totals here. Over 3.5 for them is at plus 135. I'd like to see them kind of get right tonight against this Nashville team. So I'm going to go with the Buffalo team total here.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think this is going to be a no play for me. I'd be interested on Buffalo over 2.5. You know how we like Saros. He's a good goalie. The thing that does scare me is the back-to-back and the fact that it is against, you would say, 2 physical teams, being, Carolina's physical as it gets maybe, and then Nashville isn't going to let you off the hook either. So I'm wondering about the exhaustion factor for Buffalo in this game. Maybe they got some heavy legs as well. So I think a pass for me at the end of the day.
All right. I like it. This next one is definitely going to be a pass for me. We've got the Blues at the Jets. Your number tonight is 5.5, minus 135 for the over, plus 114 for the under. Jets favored at home, minus 125. The Blues, plus 105. Your goalies here tonight, Joel Hofer for the Blues and Eric Comrie for the Jets. Maybe with that matchup, you see some goals in this game, but I don't want to trust either one of these teams. So, Steve, this is a no play for me.
I'll do a complete pass on this. Both of these teams were on the Central Division do not play list for now. As mentioned a segment ago.
Absolutely. All right, 2 more here tonight. We're getting into the 2 10 p.m. games. The Devils taking on the Oilers. The number here tonight is 6.5. Over is going to be plus 110. The under minus 130. I do believe Edmonton is on a back-to-back. Minus 175 for the Oilers, plus 145 for the Devils. Steve, we'll look at the goalies. I don't have a play yet in this game. We have Jake Allen and Tristan Jarry. Allen in goal for New Jersey, Jarry in net for Edmonton. I don't know, Steve. I guess you could take the Edmonton team total. These 2 teams, I just really kind of weary of this kind of late night game here. I'm not exactly sure what to make of it. The Devils don't quite have my trust, although they are playing better and a little bit healthier as of now too. So maybe they take advantage of Edmonton on the back-to-back, but I just don't want to be stuck waiting for this game for something to cash in at 10 on two teams. So I'm just in this matchup, I'm not exactly sure about.
I think I like Edmonton here to get by. I'm not going to get invested in it. New Jersey's just on that do not play list, but I still feel like they're right for the picking a little bit. They still give up a decent amount of goals. They can't score themselves for the most part. And Edmonton is Edmonton. I mean, they are much better at home than they are away. If it was back-to-back away, I'd be a little bit more worried about it. But I think they'll be fine at home tonight.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there, Steve.
Yeah.
So we'll take Edmonton in that game. Last game on the board, we have the Rangers cross country taking on the Kings. 5.5 is your number here. Minus 122 for the over, plus 102 for the under. The Kings are favored minus 185 at home. Rangers plus 154. It hasn't been going well for the Rangers, but you know what? It hasn't been going well for the Kings either. Losers of 4 in a row. Let's see the goalies tonight. Jonathan Quick, how about that? The ex-King in goal for the Rangers. Darcy Kemper in goal for LA. Interesting matchup there. Steve, I went here. I'm going to take the Kings at home against this Rangers team. Over 3.5 goals. I like for them tonight. And I think I took it. I took 2.5 and 3.5, two different tickets, kind of trying to climb a little bit of a ladder here. I'm just thinking LA kind of gets right late night at home.
13 overtime losses for the Kings, Dave. How about that?
Yeah.
13 overtime losses. That's insane. You said it earlier. The Rangers are quitting on the season. They're going to be looking to trade. Who knows when some trades are coming, when some players get pulled out of the lineup at this point. Jonathan Quick has not been good. I think the Kings should handle business. This, to me, on the standpoint alone, where the Rangers are coming off a loss to Anaheim 5-3 last night, I think this is a bad spot for the Rangers. I think the Kings are probably your best bet of the night.
All right, I like it.
But still, it's crazy to me. 13 overtime losses this team has had.
Yeah, that is not. Yeah, that's not good. We'll just leave it at that. So Steve, now it's come time. We need to throw somebody in the penalty box. Although in this list, it's kind of tough to do.
Well, we've had some teams that I've been having fun with who are regressing. Like, we mentioned the Kings. We always like the Kings. They're stinking up the joint at the moment. The Kraken, they were doing great until they hit the road. Now they've lost 4 in a row. Here are the Stars. They've lost 3. You know what? Our Capitals, they've been thrown in before. In fact, I think
they're the best candidate, I think.
I think we threw them in last week. So they're an auto throw in at this point. I guess we've had the Senators in there.
It's tough, isn't it?
And we've had the Rangers in there. Well, it's hard to pick teams we haven't picked before is the problem.
Yeah.
Right? We've even thrown Winnipeg in there recently. I'm going to throw the Vegas Golden Knights in there. How about that? The top team in the Pacific. I'll go off the wall here. They didn't look any good to me yesterday. Let's see what they do. I know they're 7-2-1, losing yesterday, and they're in first place right now on January the 20th, 2 points ahead of Edmonton. I'm going to make a prediction now and we have the Olympics as well coming up. I will say by March 31st, this team is in third place
Interesting.
in that division, at least in third place. So
Ah,
that starts
okay.
tonight. I'll throw the Knights in there. What do you got?
All right, Steve. You know what? Let's throw the Flyers in there. How about that? They've had a couple opportunities to get some points over the Capitals within the last 3 or 4 games, and they just haven't been able to capitalize and pull away. I've been keeping an eye on that. So we need to jump Philly, and we're losing games, and we're like, oh, they're going to pull away. It's gonna get more difficult, and they just haven't been able to separate. So I will throw the Philadelphia Flyers in the penalty box for that reason.
All right.
And I have my goal scorers. So let's go ahead and get to that.
All right. What do you got?
Waiting for this to refresh. Man, this thing has been really bad today. I will say that. If you've got 4, Steve, let me just close this app again. Man, this thing has been bad.
Yeah, I can go ahead and start. I'll start backwards, moving forward. I'll take a king. I'll take Joel Armia at plus 390 tonight to get a goal. How about that? I'll throw in my man Ryan Nugent Hopkins for the Oilers at plus 230. Right now, both of those guys pay out 15-1. I'll go ahead and throw in a Blue Jacket as well. And, I like to go back and forth with Fantilli and Rowinski. I'll go ahead and take Fantilli plus 175 for the Blue Jackets. And I'll give you one more here for Montreal. We'll go ahead and take my guy, Nick Suzuki, at plus 195. So Nick Suzuki, Adam Fantilli, Ryan Nugent Hopkins, Joel Armia, $10 wins you $1,300.
Oh, nice. I like it. All right, Steve, my guys tonight, Brandon Hagel for Tampa Bay, looking for them to stay hot. You called it earlier, Brady Tkachuk for Ottawa. I think he gets involved. Ryan Nugent Hopkins for Edmonton at home tonight. And we'll round it off with Mikko Rantanen for Dallas to get one in tonight. You got 60-1 odds on that, Steve. So, you play that how you want. About $10 on this ticket would net you around 600.
All right, I like it.
All right, we've got the penalty box. We've got the goal scorers. Difficult slate, but we've covered it. So we'll be back.
What are your best bets, Dave? What are your 2 or 3 best bets?
All right, yeah, let's go. My best bets, I'll tell you, Steve, we'll go with Tampa on the money line, Montreal minus 1.5, and over 6.5, Ottawa and Columbus.
All right, I'll take 2.5 Shark goals. Coming off the back-to-back, I know that's tough. Going against Vasilevsky is tough. But something about this Sharks team is just a little gritty. I'll take the Blue Jackets team goals at home. I'll take the 3.5 if that's what you're going to force feed me with. So I'll take that. And then I'll take also the Kings on the money line over the Rangers.
Ooh, interesting. Yep. I like the Kings tonight as well at home.
All right. Back on Sunday with the round robin. NFL Championship Sunday. Airtime for that will be at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, Dave, good job. Good luck.
All right, good luck.
What the